Breaking tonight in a landmark, first-of-its-kind decision, the Obama administration has placed school districts across this country on notice tonight that transgender students must be treated equally in every way, including full access to locker rooms of the gender with which they identify, concluding any other result would be discriminatory. Welcome to the Kelly File, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. It is an unprecedented decision that changes the cultural battleground in public schools. Just one day ago, the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights found an Illinois school district violated anti-discrimination laws when it did not allow a transgender student unfettered access to the girls' locker room. This case has been going on for 2 years, but it is now making national headlines in papers like the New York Times this week. The district argues it's made every effort to accommodate this high school student who, as a young child, began to identify as female but was born male, allowing her to play on female sports teams, use the girls' restroom. But it drew the line at allowing her to undress in the same locker room with other girls, instead providing an adjacent changing room connected to that locker room. But that was not acceptable to the girl or to the ACLU. And now, in a case with precedent-setting implications, the administration says this school district must ditch any restrictions, or it could face court and a loss of federal funding. In moments, we will speak to the district's superintendent, Dr. Daniel Cates, who is fighting this ruling, and nationally syndicated radio host Richard Fowler is also here. But we begin tonight with Trace Gallagher reporting from our West Coast newsroom. Trace?
Megyn, the student who has not been named has gone through hormone therapy, but not gender reassignment therapy. And in middle school, she transitioned fully to living the life of a woman. As she went to high school, her request to be treated like a girl was honored by using her female name, giving her full access to girls' restrooms and girls' athletics. But the school would not allow her to dress and shower inside the girls' locker room. At first, she was given a private changing area outside the locker room, but the student said she felt singled out and stigmatized. She contacted the ACLU, who sued on her behalf. Listen.
They are setting aside a separate bathroom and telling only her that she has to use that restroom to dress. That is discriminatory. There's no other way to look at it.
The Department of Education sided with the transgender student, writing, quote, Township High School District 211 is not following the law because the district continues to deny a female student the right to use the girls' locker room. But the transgender student had said that to protect her own privacy, she would use privacy curtains inside the locker room if they were available. Now they are available, but the Department of Education says it's not good enough. And if she is not allowed to shower with the rest of the girls within 30 days, the district could lose millions in federal funding. The unnamed student applauds the ruling, saying the district's policy made her feel like she was a normal person or not a normal person. But the district is still fighting it, saying, quoting here, the students in our schools are teenagers, not adults, and one's gender is not the same as one's anatomy. Boys and girls are in separate locker rooms where there are open changing areas and open shower facilities for a reason. Several students have now signed a school petition asking that she be allowed to use the girls' locker rooms, but many students say she should not, and many of their parents agree. Megyn.
Trace, thank you. On the heels of the Fed's decision, the school superintendent released a statement suggesting this is a serious overreach with precedent-setting implications. In a Kelly File exclusive now, we are joined by Dr. Daniel Cates, who's superintendent of Township High School District 211. Doctor, thank you for being here with us tonight. So let's just start with this. What is it specifically that you are concerned about if this young woman, young girl, has unfettered access to the girls' locker room?
As school leaders, we are charged with the responsibility of balancing the rights of all students. And while we respect and honor transgender students and transgender identity, it is our responsibility to create an environment that is protective and built on principles of respecting the privacy of all of our students.
Okay, I get all that, but I'm trying to cut through sort of the academic speak and get to what specifically is it? What are you worried will happen?
We believe that our accommodations provide a great deal of support to our transgender students, and in our plan, what we believe that we're able to work through is what transgender students would request and benefit from, honestly. They would request privacy themselves, and our accommodations would provide that.
No, I get that. I get that. And we've made clear, the district tried. It tried many things. It gave her a private bathroom. Then it moved that bathroom closer to the locker room, and it made it adjoining to the locker room, and offered her to let her friends use it with her so she didn't feel isolated. And you allow her to play on the girls' sports teams and all the other things. But I'm trying to get at what is the concern that you have if you have to go this extra level that the Obama administration has said you have to, which is to let her use the actual girls' locker room as she wishes.
Yeah, so our position is that she would be using the girls' locker room, and our position is that transgender students could access those facilities. Where we differ in our position is that we are requesting an agreement and a commitment on behalf of transgender students that they would observe a measure of privacy. Privacy in our locker rooms is a fundamental, critical right that we believe is protected for all of our students. And when the administration requests and requires that we remove that expectation or agreement, we believe that that compromises the rights of all of our students in the locker rooms.
How?
By having students born of opposite sex in the locker room, we disagree with the Office of Civil Rights in their position that this is legally objectionable. We believe that the law stands on, we will be affirmed with the law.
But these are just generalities. With respect, doctor, I'm trying to, just explain it for us. What is it? What is it? Have you had students object? Have you had parents say, I don't want to be exposed to, you know, anatomy that is different? What is it? Just tell us specifically.
Yes, we've had resounding comments from our parents, and although the comments come from both sides, there is resounding support from our parents to stand firm in our position to protect the privacy rights of the students in the locker rooms. It is both from being in the presence of students who have a different anatomy, and the young women that we have heard from believe firmly that that is a right that they would like to protect and safeguard, and as school officials it is our responsibility to do so.
Are you going, because right now we hear you're fighting the ruling, are you going to, how? I mean, are you going to continue this, or you're going to have to comply?
We continue to work openly and diligently with the Office of Civil Rights. We are hopeful. Every day school administrators work diligently with families about their most important gift in the world, and that is their children. We work through accommodations.
Respectfully, this is, you know, this is primetime cable. This isn't like a superintendent board meeting. So we got to get to the heart of the matter, which is, what are you going to do to fight the ruling?
Yeah, we stand firm on our principles that protecting student privacy is important, and while we hope to reach a settlement with the Office of Civil Rights, we would be willing to have that due process hearing, a full hearing on this matter to be sorted out. We believe that, again, our position is one that stands on principles for privacy.
Thank you for being here, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Well, my next guest sees things very differently. Richard Fowler is a nationally syndicated radio host. Richard, thank you for being here. So,
thanks for having me, Megan.
He's an academic, right? So he speaks in academic speak, but you could hear the point he was trying to make, that he's trying to be respectful of the other students who have objected, whose parents, in some instances, have objected, feeling they bent over backwards to accommodate this young girl, but that at this point, there's a limit in 2015 America beyond which they feel uncomfortable.
Listen, I hear what the superintendent's saying. I disagree with him, and here's why. I think when you take this one, only this one student has to go behind a veil as she's changing. You clearly have separated her out from the pack of all the rest of students, which in itself
that's
is
a no-brainer.
exclusionary.
So, but here's the thing that they say.
And I think that's part of the problem.
I mean, that is absolutely true. There's no, you can't even dispute that it is. It's separate. But what he and his supporters have said is, what about the other students who are not biased and they don't have hate in their hearts, but they feel uncomfortable? The young girls, I mean, I can speak from experience. You know, I always look for the private changing area when I was 15. You know, I mean, and I didn't have anything like this to deal with. So they feel uncomfortable. Should their feelings count at all?
No, I think their feelings should count, Megan. I think this is what you would call a teachable moment, right? Here's the thing. You're never going to get rid of transgendered folks. You're never going to get rid of gay folks. You're never going to get rid of Muslims. You're never going to get rid of Christians. So why not all work together to really try to create safe and welcoming environment where we all can thrive? What are our differences? What are our similarities? What do we need to understand about the different cultures?
What they would say, this is not my argument, this is their argument. What they would say is, you can't, why make everyone feel uncomfortable all these folks who are objecting, just to make the one girl feel perfectly comfortable. So in other words, they've done a lot to make her feel comfortable, but why do the other students, why is their comfort irrelevant?
Well, this is about inclusion, not exclusion, right? It's about making sure we open up our schools and opening up our churches and open up our rec centers to more people and not less people. And the only way we can do that is by really having conversations about how we make it work. What are the differences in anatomy? How do people understand that?
I think people know that when they're 15 or 16.
Talking to community.
They have figured out the differences in anatomy.
No, I get that, but I think that people,
as Nana would say, at least it was when I went to school. You'd know by 15.
I think there's a big misconception and miseducation about transgendered folks. And I think the only way we're going to solve some of these problems is by really educating ourselves about the transgender community, because we're not going to get rid of them.
Yeah. Richard, great to see you.
They're part of America.
It's great to see you.
Megan.
Thank you for being here. This is precedent setting. That's why it's a big case, because this is a ruling that can affect, and likely will, school districts across this country. The administration settled with two school districts. This is the first one that really fought it and has lost. Taking your thoughts right now on Twitter at Megyn Kelly. Also tonight, we have breaking news on the firestorm created when Quentin Tarantino referred to cops as murderers. The director is tonight addressing the backlash for the very first time, and wait until you hear what he is saying. Not sure it's going to put out this fire. Next. Plus, we also have new developments tonight on the fallout from an ugly Republican debate and a push for new rules. Governor Chris Christie is here, along with Senator Ted Cruz. And then,